All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give our praises to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Kakadash. Double honor to Elder Apostle Great Mills, Tony Thomas, Truth and Rule Well. Peace, blessing, and salutations to Hakim out there. Scared abroad to the fork of the earth. That's serving the truth without true sincerity. So I say Shalom. There's a button above continue the video in the spirit. Oof, Salakia. And this is just going to be a quick video, something I was just meditating about, throughout the week and watching a couple brothers' videos, man. And we gotta make sure that we're in order. Make sure we're in order and listening to the spirit, and following, what the spirit, is saying, and we gotta be men, because one video that a brother did, I forgot his name, Salakia, but he said, some things the Lord just want us to go through, on our own, And then the other brother, the elder, Banyamya, he did a video and was talking about how act like you know that the Lord is dealing with you, So just listening to those two videos, and just as meditating, it was just thinking that we gotta make sure we're in order, man, and just serve the Lord, man, and just take what comes with this ministry. Is we're gonna have good times, we're gonna have bad times. That's the balance that's in this thing. But it's not meant to be easy. We're not meant to have an easy road to the kingdom, man. It's gonna be trials, it's gonna be tribulations, we're gonna be tested. That's what comes with it. But at the end of the day, we know that it's going to work out good for us if we hold on to the faith and we continue to endure. So I'm just going to grab this. This is Joshua 24:15. It says, "And if it seem evil unto you to serve the Lord, choose you this day whom you will serve, whether the gods which your fathers served that were on the other side of the flood, or the gods of the Amorites whose land you dwell. But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord." Yeah, So if it seems evil unto you to serve the Lord, choose what you're gonna do, man. That's the time that we in now, man. It ain't time to be tiptoeing, 1 foot in, 1 foot out, man. If you gonna serve the Lord, serve the Lord. If not, then get the fuck on, man. That's the spirit that our apostles and elders has been on, man. It's time out for all that playtime. It's time out for all that, not being a man. That's been getting brought out a lot lately. Being a man, we have to be men in this thing, man. We have to follow order, man. We gotta, listen to what the spirit is saying. If a brother tell you to do a certain thing, then you do it. If it's a certain thing that you're supposed to be doing, and brothers have said that to you, then do it. Make sure that you're in order. I want to come over here to 1 Corinthians 14:40 says, "Let all things be done decently and in order." Yeah. So that's the main thing, man. Making sure that we're in order. You can't just be doing what you want to do when you're in this truth, when you're in this ministry, man. That type of spirit can get you in trouble, man. And it's not time to be in that spirit, man. Especially if you've been in this thing for a while. If you've been in this thing for a while, man, you know what it is you're supposed to be doing. And for newer brothers that's coming in, man, just follow order, man. Just take heed to the men that's over you, that's above you, and watch how they conduct themselves. Learn from them men, and they'll do well for you in the end, because you got brothers that's been in this thing for a very long time, man. So they've have a lot of experiences and seen a lot of things, man. So it's wise to take heed to those men, and learn from those men, But yeah, man, we just gotta be men and endure, man, because it's not gonna be easy. We gotta put your feelings to the side. Don't let your feelings get in the way, man. Don't let this world get in the way. Yes, it's things are happening out here, but don't let this world keep you from doing what it is you're supposed to be doing. Don't let your own way of thinking, get in the way of what we're supposed to be doing, man. What I want to grab? I just had the scripture. I forgot it that quick. Well, I'm gonna come grab this so I can. That's just 2 Timothy 2:3. It says, "Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahushua Mashiach. No man that warreth entangle himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who have chosen him to be a soldier." Yeah. So we have to endure hardness as a good soldier, man. You know, the things that come with it, we just gotta take it on the chin. Oh yeah, that's what I want to do. Sirach 2. Bear with me about Shy. It's Sirach 2:1. It says, "My son, if thou come serve the Lord, prepare thyself for temptation. Set thy heart aright and constantly endure it, and make not haste in the time of trouble." Yeah. So you have to prepare yourself for temptation when you come in this thing, man. Things are set up in this world to distract us, man. To keep us from doing the work, man. Keep us from studying, keep us from reading. Satan is trying to distract us and keep us from doing what we're supposed to be doing. But we can't let that happen, man. We gotta fight that, and honestly, Jake can't keep making excuses, man. It's not no excuse. Brothers be having stuff going on. That's understandable. But I know brothers that I don't have kids. I don't have a family in that sense. But so I know brothers who got families, who got rigorous jobs, work long hours, and they still make time. And that's the thing that we got to do, man. We got to make time for Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai, man. And it's going to be good for us in the end. The Lord's not going to forget that. The scriptures say the Lord is not to forget your works of labor of love. He's not going to forget the works that you did. He's not going to forget that time that you put aside for him, man. And then also, when it comes to just enduring, some, like the brother was saying in the video, some things the Lord just wants us to go through, and us going through those things is character building, man. It builds up your character. It makes you harder in a sense. Helps build you up into a better soldier for Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai. And that's what comes with this ministry. When you go to let me get out of here. Go to Acts 14:22. It says, "Confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, and that we must through much tribulation enter into the kingdom of Yahweh." Yeah, through much tribulation. So we ain't really going through nothing right now, but it's gonna come a time when we are. You got the scripture, Revelations 2:10. Some brothers may be cast into concentration camps, man, locked up. But it says, "Be faithful 10 days," which is a complete number of time, and He'll give you the crown of life, man. But you gotta believe that. The hour of temptation, MOTB. Be ready to get excommunicated out of this society. You gotta be ready for that and have faith that the Lord is gonna be with us through those times. And that's why brothers be like, when you in the world, don't be just acting like an asshole. Don't just be acting like a nigga out here, man. Conduct yourself, uprightly, I'm gonna say, because you never know in these times we're coming to how the Lord may help us out. That's why brothers be like, don't be burning bridges, man. You don't want to burn bridges out here with people in the world, man. The scriptures say, if it's possible, live peaceable with all men. And that's how we have to do, man, because we don't know, how the Lord can provide for us in these times. But if you've been out here just being a nigga, being an asshole, when you going through trouble, or you catching a little hell, you just don't have no control or rule over your spirit, and you just cussing people off and cutting people off and going off on people not going to want to deal with you. So when all hell break loose, they going to remember stuff like that, and they're not going to want to deal with you. And you could have been, you didn't block your blessing that the Lord probably has set up for you. Now, ultimately, if you a man of the Lord is going to provide for you. We understand that, but still a way that we had to conduct ourselves in this truth, man, in His ministry, you know. So it's not going to be no easy walk. You know, we going to go through things, you know. But we got men and we got the brotherhood that's been this thing for a very long time who we can learn from, you know, who we can get help from. You know, that's what brothers are for. Brothers are here to help, you know. But, you know, you gotta want that help, man. You gotta seek that help too, man. You know. Jake just be wanting to sit back and think the Lord is gonna do everything for you. No. You gotta put the work in too, man. You know, we all do. You know, we gotta put the work in, and we put the work in for the Lord. The Lord gonna put the work in for us. You know, you got Sirach 2:10. You know, look at the generations of old. You know, you got Jonah, and Jonah didn't want to do the will of the Lord, and what happened to him? So we got examples in the scriptures of men who didn't want to do the will, and we got examples of scriptures who did do what the Lord told them to do. And look how it ended for them. So we have to remember these scriptures, man. You know, and believe on them. You know, and just serve the Lord, man, and just be a man. You know, we're in the times where we gotta, you know, like another brother that heard about Yum did was a stoic mindset. That's what we're coming into, having that stoic mindset. You know, being austere. You know, like I say in a lot of my videos. You know, Apostle Kabar especially did a video on it. Just living a simple life, man. Living a simple life. You know, not having too much going on. You know, but whatever it is you got going on, that you don't let it come between you and this work, man, that you put this work first, man. You know? So that's what we got to have. So I'm going to just close out with this. Now I'm going to grab one more for after this. This is Luke 14 and 20:26. Says, if any man come to me and hate not his father, mother, wife, and children, and brethren, and sisters, yet in his own life, also he cannot be my disciple. And whoso does not bear his cross and come after me cannot be my disciple. For which of you intended to build a tower, sit not down first and count up the cost, whether he has sufficient to finish it? Yeah. So count the cost, man. You know, don't let your family, you know, get in the way, you know, of this truth, man. You know, brothers say a lot. When they say hate, I don't mean literally hate them, but don't be putting your family before this truth, man. Don't let them come in between you and this ministry. You know, I done seen it. You know, and brothers done been kicked out because of it. You know, because they done let they family, you know, get in the way of this ministry. So you can't do that. You got to sit down and count the cost, you know. When you sit down and count the cost, you understand that, hey, man, some shit you just got to say no to. Some shit it's just a no-no. And it is what it is, you know. And just let the Lord sort the rest of it out. But that's what comes with counting the cost, man, understanding that, you know, we going to have those type of things that we're going to have to go through this walk. But as long as we continue to hold on to the faith, man, and continue to believe in the words of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, we're going to be okay. I'm going to grab this, then I'm going to close out. This is Luke 9:62. It says, and Yahushua said unto him, no man having put his hand to the plow and look it back is fit for the kingdom of Yahweh. Yeah, man. So once you're doing this work, man, that's no looking back. You know, continue to do the work. You know, don't get lazy, man. You know, don't start BSing. You know, this is the Lord's money, man. What you doing with the Lord's money? You know, you gotta use it, man. The Lord allowed you to come into this truth, man. Allowed you to come into this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. you know? So what are you going to do with it? Because like it says in Isaiah 33:6, wisdom and knowledge shall be stability at our times. So when all hell breaks loose, this all we going to have is the wisdom and knowledge of these scriptures, man. So you're not using your time wisely, it's not going to be good for you in that day, man. You know, so lock in. You know, it's time to lock in, man. Make sure that we in order. We listening to the Spirit. We taking heed of what's going on. We're taking heed to apostles and elders and even the brothers that's in there that you deal with in your camp. Take heed to these men and make sure that we're conducting ourselves like we're supposed to and moving right according to the Spirit. So that's pretty much it. Lord, when this video is edifying, I'm going to close up by giving our praises to Yahweh.